Had a peaceful New Year's Eve last night. We had Riza come over and Pata come over with their families. Well, the boys didn't come from Riza's side, but well, one of them is American. But anyway, fairly easygoing. We had the new neighbours come over. He brought his beer, as I don't know if I mentioned it in one of these videos, but he came in. They were moving in, and what do you call it? Kilju is something that you do in Finland, which is basically home brew, or you just put yeast and sugar and water, and it tastes absolutely horrible, but it has alcohol in it. So what I said to the guy, he was bringing his beer containers where he ferments them, and I was like, look, Kilju. And then the other time I met the guy, he's fairly young, and I then again put my foot in my mouth. I was kind of, because the lady that moved next to her, she's about our age, and I said to the guy that, are you one of the kids? I mean, because he somehow, I thought of him that he's clearly in his 20s or something like that, which he is. I was correct about that. But there's a bit of an age difference between the lady and this guy, and he's not the kid, he's the husband in the family. So, well, they came over, they brought some beer. He makes beer. I think he brought a stout and IPA, and then there was a third, what do you call it, 0.33 litre bottles. So yeah, fairly relaxing New Year's Eve. Shot some rockets, didn't get any pictures. I tried to fly the drone, but I know it now, didn't know it yesterday. The drone does not start filming, or it said that can't film because of low ambient light. It's like, what? So basically, in the future, you would have to point it at something that is bright, well lit, start the recording then, and then fly off. That might work, but you never know. On my website, this vlog MS website, the weirdest thing has happened. I obviously checked where people come. First it was just Finland and UK, because it was my family that primarily went there. But now the first shift happened that it's people from Australia and America, and a few visits from Canada. I'm surprised that Canada's not more represented, because MS, after all, is labelled the Canadian disease, or one of the terms that I've heard about it. But Canada is very low. So, yeah. But yesterday when I checked, out of the blue, #1 nation is Israel. And yes, I do agree, I'm pro-Israel and thumbs up and all of that, but what do you call it? But I don't speak about that at all. I mention Jesus, who is a Jew, by the way, or not, by the way, he is a Jew. He's always going to be a Jew. He's the Messiah of the Jewish people. So, but still, it's weird. But anyway, I had a plan yesterday that I start this year with a video, and I'll end this, or I ended 2017 with a video. But the funny thing is, or not funny thing, but what do you call it? This morning I felt a lot better than I felt in a while. I didn't feel as jittery as I sometimes do. And felt all right. And Finland lost to America last night, which was a bit of a disappointment. But then day after tomorrow, then the real games start. Or is it tomorrow that they start? Yeah, 2nd. So today's the 1st, the 2nd that we'll get. The problem is that I have to work tomorrow, and then watching games late at night. It's not a very good combination. But I checked; it's an early game, so it's not the latest possible game, and it was a fairly good game yesterday. They tied halfway through third period 4-4, and they were trailing by 2, maybe 3 at one point, but they clawed back the difference, and then the Americans got the game-winning goal, and Finland was unable to catch. But it's funny, we're a minuscule nation, and still we get to compete fairly competitively with the likes of Canada and United States, Czechoslovakia, Russia, and so, I mean, with all the best hockey nations, which is nice. But anyway, I shall throw this together, and we'll see what comes out of this. Because the truth of the matter is that then when working and doing your day-to-day tasks, then that tells you how you're actually feeling. Holidays never, or I find that holidays never a good indicator of how you're doing. So, I forgot to talk about my visit to Aino. I took Terhi there. It was pretty much the only restaurant serving food in mellandagarna, in the days in between Christmas and New Year. And they're typically all Finnish companies, they're on holiday and nothing happens. But this one was open, and it was actually jam-packed, the whole restaurant. And what do you call it? It was filled with Japanese tourists. And we had both of us, Terhi and me, we had their signature menu called Aino. And the first one was a cantarell soup, followed by Arctic char with fried vegetables, and then it was, as dessert, there was some chocolate mousse with I can't remember what sauce it was, but that was the only miss on that menu. Otherwise it it was kind of homemade type of stuff, but it was good. It was a good menu. Now I tried to create B-roll footage from our home, or the terrace house that we live in, flying in over it with the drone, and then I clipped it in 1 second bits and put it as the what do you call it, intro into this video, just testing whether I can create stuff like that. And I used the horizon as the 0 point for all different. I had 4 angles: south, west, north and east, and then flying from those, and then tilting the camera down so that the horizon was kind of the 0 point on all of the angles. Could do a lot better, I must admit, but this is my first attempt. But anyway, Jesus Christ, that's okay.